And gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And welcome to... Wait, that ain't the one I want. Dang it. Yes, it is. That is the one I want. No, it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7.
Hi, Dad.
What's up?
Where's he at?
He was here and then he left.
I know.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
The word of the day, smart car.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. What do you got there, Daddy? Your new shoes.
Yes, sir. Kung Pao's new footwear.
Yeah, everybody. So it's going to be me and Daddy Ed for a little bit. But anyway, yeah, Kung Pao's got some new shoes there. You want to show those shoes off again, Kung Pao?
Look at those bad boys. Has that got some bling to them or what?
Those look good. Excuse me.
I wonder if Kevin Atkins would be proud of me.
So, for all you WWE wrestling fans, who saw Seth freaking Rollins wearing those moon shoes that Kevin Atkins was talking about the other day, only they were in yellow? It's like, how is he walking in those things? Those
Yeah, I
things
saw
look like,
those.
oh my gosh, they were horrible.
Yeah, so I told my wife, yeah, those were the boots that Kevin Atkins wanted me to get during the season last year. And she was like, no freaking way.
So, Dad right here, Flamin' Wingman said Daddy Ed with the Joe, whatever that means, with the J's.
No, with the J, man.
Let's see. First of all, I have to go back to the nerd. There's the star of the show. He must be talking about me. Just saying. He must be talking about me. Your show. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you. That's right. This is the Amanda Show, everybody. Welcome to it. You're just, Daddy is just here. This is the Amanda Show today. Anyway, yeah, Seth freaking Rollins, baby. I know that's right. Jersey King. Which, by the way, on that note, Daddy Ed and I will be on Jersey King's show tomorrow at 4 o'clock, but Daddy Ed and I will be on at 4:30. So make sure
I,
you check us out.
Hold on.
Finally decided to join us, huh?
But no, somehow my entire system got unplugged for some reason. I don't know how. And who said that this is Amanda's show? No, this is not Amanda's show. We didn't even do the proper introduction. This is B-Hawk Live. I am one of the hosts, Dirty. Next to us is Amanda, and below her is the real star of the show, Daddy Ed, who has completely taken over the entire. And Jesus,
you know what?
Christ! And there
if
they
I knew
are.
how to get you out of here, I would in 2 seconds.
The Jordans.
Just
the
look
Jays.
at the bling on those things. Does that not go with my heat miser wig?
Daddy Ed, I was there when you got those. You know,
Tell
see,
the
like
story
right here
on
it
that,
says,
Dirty, a little bit.
No,
Daddy Ed is the real star of the show.
You should let me.
Yeah, Dad, go ahead.
You should let me talk about my road rage event first.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, you know, that's funny. So we're on our way to a great event, by the way. The
No,
Sneakers.
we're not going to tell the story through your mouth.
A great.
It's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming through the. It's coming.
Hold on,
me.
Daddy Ed. Hold on.
People are going to be relating to me, not you.
There's no need to get violent, Daddy Ed. Let's really tell this story, right?
I'll tell it the right way.
Okay, I will tell it the right way. We're on our way to a great event last Saturday, the Sneaker Society event. We actually did a really good thing.
Up. You just don't know when to. I'm called a hyena. Really?
They raised money for back to school and stuff like that. Really great time. So I'm driving down the road.
Set the stage. You're not setting the stage.
I'm listening. I'm driving down the road. I make my left turn. I see this big white truck.
Man.
See a big white truck. Now I'm in an area where they like to ticket you. If you're from St. Louis, you know in Fenton that if you go over the speed limit, they like to ticket you. With that being said, I make my left turn, and then there's a big white truck behind me. Daddy Ed, would you like to go on from there?
You need to. Well, you got to set the stage. Earlier en route to the Sneaker Society, I had a HHR, also known as a milk truck, pull out in front of me, and then proceed to go like 15 miles an hour.
They did.
And so, according to my GPS, that was going to make me approximately 2-3 minutes late, right?
Yes, true.
So I'm practically touching his back bumper, and I'm just kind of merely suggesting with my arms that maybe he should put his damn phone down and maybe drive a little bit. So then here comes a stop sign and it's like a 2-way stop.
Yeah.
So now the HHR takes his sweet ass time going through the stop sign.
Which he rightfully so. He should have.
And who has the right to go after the milk truck? Some little smart car.
The guy to your left
comes darting out of nowhere.
Stop sign first.
And so now the smart car is ahead of me, and so is the HHR. And they're both proceeding to they act like it's Sunday. You know, they're just nothing really going on. I see this arm hanging out the window of the smart car with a cigarette hanging on the end of it. So I followed these guys clear down the river road, and it was painful. It's like muting Amanda during our show. I'm just
which is almost impossible.
Painful.
So finally, halfway to the Sneaker Society event, the HHR pulls off. And I'm like, oh, cool. Now this smart car is going to realize I can go a little faster now that the HHR, a.k.a. milk truck, is gone.
Doing the speed limit?
No. Speed limits are suggested speed only.
Yeah, not in Fenton.
So anyway, so I got the smart car going in front of me, and it was painful, man. It was they were barely even moving. So finally, the one lane is going to turn into 2, and I saw my chance.
I've ever heard one.
And I'm like, the minute this turns into 2 lanes, I'm darting out around and getting by this smart car. So I go out, I dart by the smart car right as GPS is saying, turn right on such and such road. So now I'm in the opposite lane. I miss my turn. The smart car turns at the where I wanted to turn. And I am all I can tell you, all it sounded like at this point was beep, beep, beep.
Was this?
Because I can't say anything that I was
Here's
really
what
saying.
you got, Ed. Here's what you did. A big, giant fail. A
So
big,
what
giant
happens?
fail.
So what happens? My phone rings.
Yep.
And it's somebody that I recognize on the other end saying, "Where are you going, Daddy Ed? You missed your turn." And right there, I put two and two together.
Hold on. No, you didn't.
And I'm like, I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
You were in the smart car. That was you. You were the one that was driving like an old man. My God.
Ed turned into R2D2.
So no, here's what it was. I get on the River Road, Water Road in Fenton, Missouri. If anybody knows Fenton, Missouri, they will ticket you for going crazy. Hello, Jackie. So I'm doing the speed limit. I make my left turn. I see Ed. I don't have my arm out the window. Nothing like that. I'm not on my phone. I'm just doing the speed limit in my little 2016 Chevy Spark. It's a little 4-cylinder.
Smart car.
I believe you were on your phone, but it was hands-free.
Yes, I was hands-free. I was talking to the good doctor from Review STL who was up in. So if you haven't had the chance, go to Review STL and check out his pictures and all that from SummerSlam. He was in Detroit covering SummerSlam. I see Daddy Ed behind me. Now, you would think.
So you're baiting me. In other words, you're baiting me, right?
Yes, you would think.
It was obvious to you that I was pissed.
As much smart water as Daddy Ed drinks, right? You would think he would know. He's seen my car before. Seen it before. He goes around me. I call him up. I'm like, yo, bro, where are you going? Then he proceeds to tell me.
I'm going to mute myself because this was me.
Hold on, Amanda. Hold on, Queen.
You were in the smart car.
He starts, I muted him. He starts screaming and cussing this mother effer in this little blue car, blah, blah, blah. And I go, Daddy Ed, you do realize that was me. It's like, you do realize that was me. You mother effer son of a,
Oh my God, look at how red their faces are, these old people. It's like King Kong driving a little spark car. It's King Kong. He's like this in the front seat.
I hope he's calm. Are you calm? Are you calm, sir? Are you calm?
Good.
Because somehow my microphone got muted also. And all I get, you got to unmute yourself, Daddy Ed. I can't unmute you. You got to unmute yourself.
I wasn't done cussing you out yet. I wasn't going to unmute myself. I can't believe it, man. I had as much road rage as I had going on, and it turns out to be dirty. Oh my God!
Y'all, Dad's face, your face got as red as those shoes you bought.
They did.
Now,
Daddy Ed, let's talk about those sweet shoes. Good morning or good afternoon, Michael Lathrop. The Jordan 11s. Look at them. Now, mind you, he still has the thing in the shoe.
That's right. I want them to keep their proper form until the time in which I place them on my feet.
Dad will have a toothbrush with him.
Ridge Rocker goes, dude, hold on, look. Ridge Rocker goes, dude, I get road rage in the grocery store.
I tell you what, I have never spent that kind of money on a pair of shoes.
Well, hold on. Now, let's get to that. Let's get to that, okay? So, Daddy Ed, we're there. We're walking around. We met a lot of great people. We met some people. So, guys, be ready because we got a lot of exciting things coming up with B-Hawk Live, X-Fan Show. We made some really good contacts with some vendors there, local vendors here in St. Louis that we're going to be working with. I mean, we are going to have B-Hawk Live socks. We are going to have B-Hawk Live socks. And I've been talking to Terrence at, I can't remember the name. He makes rugs, neon lights. We're going to be doing a live show from his establishment here in St. Louis. We will let all the fans know, because what I want to do, Daddy Ed and Hyena, is I want to get all the fans to come down with us and make rugs. So we're going to make.
Right, man. We can cut a rug together.
That's right. We're going to make B-Hawk Live rugs and stuff like that. So we made a lot of great contacts. But as we're walking, you're going.
You was enamored with the Bart Simpson one. I was.
That Bart Simpson one was.
And the Cheech and Chong one. You like that one too.
Chong, Rick and Morty style was sweet. Love it.
No, I'm all over that.
As little dirty with
the neon sign. That's what I want.
That Rick and Morty rug was sweet, looking like Cheech and Chong.
It is past.
Really was sweet as hell. But now, let me tell you a story about Daddy Ed and his Jordan.
Let me tell you a story. It's past your bedtime.
Daddy Ed, put those J's back up. Look at those things. So this guy was walking around the establishment. You know what I'm saying? He sees the shoes. He sees, yes, you can make a rug with dirty space on it. Yes, you can. And that would be the greatest rug ever, because you would hang it up and worship it. Worship it.
All right.
They even shine when you get it. They're brighter than my forehead is.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
what
this.
button you're about to press.
I know. I'm pushing so many damn buttons. So we're walking around the establishment. We come up. I buy this sweet. Where'd it go? Whoa. Where'd it go? Whoa. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Boom. The powder blue, baby. The powder blue Windy City edition of the Chicago Bulls hat. I bought this. Daddy Ed's looking for his shoes, and he goes, ooh.
You got ADHD like nobody.
He goes, ooh, look at those things. Now, mind you, be quiet, Hyena. Mind you, anybody that knows about basketball shoes, they all know that they're wides, right? They all know that they're wides. Now, I'm not telling Daddy Ed this. Daddy Ed's like, those are $300? I was like, yes, they're $300. Arlington, you know what? I don't know, Arlington. That might happen. But so he's like, well, you know, let's think on it. I'm like, whatever. So we walk around. We come back around a second time. Daddy Ed's like, damn it, those shoes are still there. And I'm like, what are you going to do, Daddy Ed? He goes, well, I'm not going to try them on. All right. So we go around. We make our third trip.
And he texts me and asks me if I like them. Now, you seriously are going to text your daughter and ask her if she likes Jordan shoes?
JR goes, Amanda has the face of contemplating why she ever joined this show.
You see?
Now we're on our third trip around. Daddy Ed goes, I'm going to try these shoes on, but I don't have any socks. I'm like, well, you want to borrow a pair of my socks? I have my socks on. And he's like, no. So he's talking to the guy.
You're smart as hell. Put on
yeah, I was like trying on a pair of tennis shoes with no socks, wearing dirty socks.
Right. He finally gets it. Daddy Ed, put your shoe back up. Put your shoe back up. He finally decides he's going to try them on. Now, mind you, anybody that knows anything about Jordans and basketball shoes, they're all in wides. Daddy Ed's got a wide foot because he's got a fat head and a fat feet. And you know what they say about guys that have fat heads and fat feet? They have something else that's fat, right, Daddy Ed?
All right.
AKA pop can.
Oh! Thank God she's gone. Now we got rid of her. So anyways, Daddy Ed takes the shoe. Daddy Ed, put your shoe back up because you're going to tell the rest of this story from this point on. So Daddy Ed takes out the stuff, unties the shoe. Daddy Ed, what happens when you take everything out of the shoe and proceed to put your foot into the shoe?
It fit like a glove. I mean to tell you, this guy only had one size of every different shoe he had sitting out there. And I wear between 11 and a 12. These were 11 and a half. So that's like covering all your bases. And so I'm like, I got to come up with 300 large, right? So I got to thinking. So I thought, well, I'll text Jolene one more time. She'll get me out of this mess.
Yeah,
Sure
and
is.
here's the text message. Hold on. Here's the text message. If you buy the shoes, I get double on my Clo allowance this week.
She goes, if you get those shoes, I get to spend the same amount on new clothes.
Because
No,
she's
it was
smart
double.
as
Dirty,
hell.
I looked at Dirty and I said, these shoes are going to cost me $600. And he goes, no, they're only $300. I said, no, they're not $300. I got to buy $300 worth of women's clothes to get these $300 worth of Jordans.
That's my mama, people. She's smart. You got to play the system.
Good
So,
Lord.
ladies and gentlemen, now, I mean, Daddy Ed's an older gentleman. He wears the New Balance. We were looking for the 350 New Balances. He sees those shoes. He puts it on, and the worst words that come out of his mouth was, and I see the face.
You thought I'd have been excited, but I was
You.
I tapped the guy. I was like, bro, you just sold a pair of shoes today. He's taking it right into the pooper with no Vaseline.
oh my God.
And the guy just starts laughing. He goes, what do you mean? I said, when those shoes fit him, I go, watch his face. And I said, as soon as he puts his foot in and he stands up, he's buying those shoes. Daddy Ed put his foot in. He said the F word. His face went to complete ecstasy because he's never wore a comfortable shoe like that. And he's like, damn it. Damn it. And he bought a pair of Jordans.
Oh my God. I've never spent that much on a pair of shoes in my life. I haven't
Listen,
even.
people, back in the day when I
You
wanted
just
a
did,
pair of
Daddy Ed.
shoes, when I wanted a pair of shoes back in the day, Daddy Ed said, I'll pay for half, you pay for the other half. So I can only imagine how that man felt by paying $300 for a pair of shoes.
So
Oh,
I
it was
still use
quite
that same
powerful.
thing today because I paid for half and now I got to pay the other half for women's clothes. So
Yeah,
It was
Mama,
quite
you're
comical.
smart. Mama, you're smart. I
Yeah.
know.
I went from road rage to buying a pair of Air Jordans in a matter of 30 minutes. Oh God.
So, Daddy, is that what I have to do to get you to buy me something? I gotta just get you in a rage, and then you'll buy me something.
Who?
So now,
My dad.
Oh, yeah.
just imagine those bad boys in my heat miser get up.
That's all he kept talking about was this heat miser. He's like, and then I'm going to have people scuffing my shoes. I'm like, Daddy Ed, we'll go get you the anti-scuff stuff for your shoes. There's a class you can go to take on how to take care of your Jordans. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
He'll have a little toothbrush in his pocket right here, and every step he takes, he'll be.
When Kung Pao is walking the stadium.
Well, look, Rich Rocker is right. Dad, you need to specify the women's clothes are for your wife, not yourself. LOL.
The first time somebody steps on my shoes on game day, there's going to be hell to pay.
It's going to be like, for you guys who have seen Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, when he gets his Jordan scuffed. Man, you scuffed my Jordans! You scuffed my Jordans! That's what Daddy Ed is going to be like. I am going to find that clip. You know what? That's what I'm going to do.
$100 in value right there.
And Kung Pao is going to get kicked out of Edward Jones' Dome because he just punched somebody out for stepping on his Jordan shoes.
Yeah, Mr. Rig, that was a good suggestion. I probably should have clarified that a little bit. That didn't sound too good.
It's okay.
Thank you for the correction.
Nobody cares. We don't care that you cross-dress, buddy. This is going to be Daddy Ed at this year's Battlehawk game. This is courtesy of Do the Right Thing So this is Daddy Ed right now.
Oh, no.
Whoa! Yo! Yeah. You almost knocked me down, man. The word is excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Not only did you knock me down, you stepped on my brand new white Air Jordans that I just bought. And that's all you can say is excuse me. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. I'll f you up quick 2 times. 2 times. Who told you to step on my sneakers? Who told you to walk on my side of the block? Who told you to be in my neighborhood? I own this brownstone. Who told you to buy a brownstone?
Daddy Ed is going to be violent and try to kill somebody that steps on his Jordans. So,
Oh,
You know.
Hey, you know what? Not to get serious for a moment, but one of your favorite players got traded from the Battlehawks today.
well, that's and speaking of that, the John says right here, let's talk about the trades and signings. I got to say this. JR says the vest lot. They don't have a day. They don't in that vest lot. They don't have a day if it's wet and full of mud too. So looks like Daddy Ed ain't going to be tailgating us with us in the vest lot. But yeah, let's talk about it. The linebacker who got knocked out by the Nooch, who was a big fail trying to stop him on the 1-yard line. Silas Kelly got traded to the Sea Dragons. What do you guys think of that one?
Where did Nooch come in with this? Why does everything have something to do with him? I don't get it.
Because if you think about it, Amanda, Hyena, Silas Kelly got knocked out by his quarterback, and him and the Nooch are going to be teammates now. Don't you think that would be a little bit of an animosity that you're a linebacker and you got knocked out by a quarterback?
You didn't learn anything from a couple of weeks ago, did you?
No,
I guess not.
Well, when Trey Watson was ready to reach through the screen and rip your throat out, you didn't learn nothing from that, did you?
No, I did not, I guess.
And we have Trey coming to our event, sir.
September 9th, Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company. Please come join us. Go to the Eventbrite. Here, look, I'm going to make it easy and easier for you bums. You ready? Watch this. Where'd it go? Arlington had it up here. Now I don't see it. Where's it at? Right here. Scan that that QR code right there at the top. There's our event, September 9th, Wild Sun. We got Trey Watson coming. Scan that QR code. Get your tickets. You get a commemorative glass for that event and a free beer. Right, Daddy Ed?
The free American blonde that goes right in it.
That is right. And
Daddy,
how many times do you get a free glass and get a free blonde in the same time?
I'm going to be quiet on that one.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
I'm going to be quiet on that. You're trying to goat me, aren't you, Daddy Ed? You're trying to goat me on that one, aren't you? Aren't you? You're trying to get me to say something, aren't you, Daddy Ed?
No.
Okay, on to the next.
On to the next. Yeah, right, exactly. A loaded question from Daddy Ed. What is the count for September 9th? I can tell you this. The visiting fans outnumber the St. Louis fans. I'll tell you that one right now. So thank you to all of the people outside of St. Louis who have gotten tickets. Very much appreciative of that. So, so let's talk about the Silas Kelly trade. I mean, does it really matter that we traded Silas Kelly to the Sea Dragons? I mean, we got a tight end to replace Akeem Butler, right? We were pretty stacked at the tight end or at the linebacker position, right?
Who was doing amazingly well with the Steelers, mind you.
I mean, sure, if you say so. He's dropped a few balls. Caught the hard ones, drops the easy ones. But anyways.
I think that Silas Kelly was probably one of the expendable linebackers if we had one.
I mean, I kind of agree with you on that, and I think that's why he was part of that trade. It gave us a tight end, which was great because we needed a tight end. We're going to need receivers. And then Mike right here says, with so many indoor football teams starting up, do you think that it's just diluting the talent pool, or will the XFL potential find more hidden gems? Well, that's funny that you say that because right here, if you really look at what the XFL has been doing and where they've been going, they've been going to the IFL to look at players. And here are, what is this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players that were claimed in the combine and that the XFL has rights to. Now, I do remember this guy right here, Prince Charles, right here. I do remember him at the showcase. Very good player. Talked to him, during the thing when we were feeding the players, the players that we didn't feed. But talked to him, really good guy. I think that, I don't know. I mean, we talked to Michael Lathrop about it, right? And I think it's a good thing with everything that we're doing. Yeah, right there. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Charlie, he was actually drafted last year, and then we traded him before the season starts. So he was originally a Battlehawk and left. Yeah, this is a good one. If the mayor was here, he would say Silas Kelly will be St. Louis's loss and Seattle's gain. Good, let's get rid of him. I didn't like Silas Kelly anyways. When you get knocked out by a quarterback, that's all I got to say about that. But I think it's a good thing with everything popping up with the IFL and all of that with all these players. I mean, is it really a bad thing? Is it a bad thing for us?
No. Not at all. Not going to miss it. Him, I should say.
There you go.
I'd actually like to spend a few minutes talking about Colby Tucker.
I mean, let's go for it.
But I guess what I'd like to say is you can never fault the guy for signing with the NFL. And granted, signing with the NFL direct, that's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. So you can never fault the guy for doing it for money purposes. But I got to believe that, is it really the right road for him at this point in his career? Because I really feel like he's a big guy, big dude, no doubt about it, man, beast, whatever you want to fill in the blank with. But he needed experience and game days and time on the field. And as raw as he is the Falcons really doing him a favor by signing him to their team, and maybe he ends up on the practice squad if they want to hold on to him, but he doesn't get a chance to play.
But let's wake up. Let's put the shoe on the other foot for a minute. I'm going to ask both of you this question.
Okay.
Would, if it were you and you were Kobe Tucker and you were offered to go to Atlanta, would you say yes or would you say no?
Well, I started right off the bat by saying I understand the money piece of it. You can never fault anybody for taking the money. You can't. He had a chance to go to the NFL, and he took it. I'm strictly talking Kobe's what's best for him as a football player to get to where he wants to get to. I personally feel like he's missing an opportunity. This year, I think, would have been good for him to be a starter on game day, being on the field every game, and getting a full season in before going to the NFL. If nothing else, just for preparation. But no, if someone dangled six figures in front of me, I'd take it too. So I'm not – the money is a sidebar on this. I'm talking about what is best for Colby and his career in football. That was all.
Well, I wasn't saying it pertaining to the money per se. I was just saying in general, like, what would you do if that were to happen?
Now, how I would do it is, I mean, look, Kobe, he is one of those rare finds in the NFL. Like somebody had said, me and Arlington talked about it last night on the X-Fan show, and we'll talk about it again because Kobe's come on this show, and he's been on the show with us. He's one of those rare finds. He's got the size of I compared him to Orlando Pace, but somebody had put something out there on there. He's got the size of Orlando Pace and the raw strength of Michael Orr, right? So I think, like, if you go back and you really look at Lakobe Tucker, I mean, he was ranked in the top 10 in JUCO. And then when he went to Joplin, he was ranked out of the division 97th out of 100 top-ranked O-linemen. I mean, that's a very big thing. I mean, like, look, right here, Flame Wingman says, I agree with Daddy in regards of him being developed, but money talks at the end of the day. You're right. Now, here's the question. Did he already sign a contract? Because as you saw the list that I put up, the XFL has already claimed rights for all of those people. After the Battlehawks have claimed rights for those people after the combine, correct? So maybe the XFL has already claimed Lakobe Tucker's rights, not just the team, but his rights to say if he doesn't make it in the NFL, he gets to come back to the XFL. We don't really know what it is and how the contract from the Atlanta Falcons are set to him. Right? We don't know any of that. I have a feeling, though, and I'd said it before, and I'll say it again. I mean, yes, Orlando Pace is the GOAT. Orlando Pace might be one of the greatest offensive linemen to ever play the game of professional football. So,
but isn't that the deal with players that have already played with the Battlehawks, too, in the agreement?
Yeah, that their rights are already claimed.
I know, but I'm saying if they go to an NFL team, the NFL team ends up not keeping them, then does the team with the XFL then have the right to take them back too? Yeah, so like prime example, let's say Abram Smith doesn't make the Minnesota Vikings. DC has his rights, so he comes back to DC. Same with Jordan. Same with DiNucci. Same with Butler. If their teams don't have, like right here, if they don't have those contracts, those players' rights were claimed, yes, but those players haven't signed contracts yet. So they can come back to their team that has their rights. Now, with Lakobe, it's a different story. I mean, we haven't seen an XFL player go from a showcase to a combine and then go right to the NFL draft. He's the first player that we've seen do that, right?
So when is the actual draft? When is the actual XFL draft?
That's the question. Are they even going to do a draft this year? Because as you see, they're just – go ahead.
Because let's say he's with the Falcons or he's not with the Falcons and he gets dropped. Well, then by rights, I was under the impression the XFL had one more draft coming yet. So if he's not available for that draft, then does that mean when he's done with the Falcons, then he's just a free agent to sign with any XFL team he wants to?
See, Wingman says here, he says he thinks the draft was either in October, that they said it was either in October or September. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything officially on the XFL's website about their draft. I mean, it could be. They might have a draft. I mean, we do know that they've had the combines. Okay?
And will the team take a chance that he's not going to make it with the Falcons or not going to end up staying with the Falcons and use their draft pick to draft him?
Which makes sense on why the draft is so late then.
Which if
camps will be over by then.
If you take a player that's you're maybe not going to get, well, then that becomes a risky draft pick. I mean, I don't know. It seems like these free agent signings and everything is kind of muddy in the water a little bit.
So does that mean Jordan Ta'amu is then going to come back too? Because I don't think he's with Minnesota anymore, or at least what I've seen. So.
Well, see, I haven't seen anything. But, I mean, again, it's the XFL owns their rights. So we're up to 43 players who have been taken to – who have, were invited to work out with an NFL team. So we have 43 of those players. And a list of the players who have signed NFL contracts are right here. So now, again, if these players don't make their roster – now, this is from XFL.com. You have Apia Taiapupa, whatever his name is. He signed with the New York Jets. You got Bruce Hector, Chuck Wiley, Derek Kelly, Abram Smith signed with the Minnesota Vikings, Matthew Saxton, Mike Rose, Patton with the Guardians, Michael Merritt with the Atlanta Falcons. So, I mean, here is the list. Reed Sonnett signed with the Bengals. Now, he might get cut because Joey B isn't going to to come back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Joey B's going to come back. So for Sinnott to make it, I don't know. Kevin Atkins signed with the Giants. So there's a lot of players that have been signed to the NFL. Now, they've all signed contracts. Those are the guys who signed contracts, not worked out, but signed contracts, right? Now, like over here, I'm still looking on their website. I still can't see where they said it from October or November, but that's what it was last year, October. And then it says right here, after the NFL roster cuts, those players are draftable for the XFL, but they have until December to opt in, which is true. They do. So out of that list, look, and as much as trouble as I give Akeem Butler, he's going to make that team. I've been watching inside the training camp. Akeem is just balling out. He is balling out, looking great. So I have a feeling he'll make it. Shepard is doing great with the Chargers. Congratulations to the new father, Parker Romo, who's doing really good. We're there. So I think some of these players are going to stay there, but some are going to come back. And if they do, then they go to the Battlehawk teams. Now with Lacobe, that's going to be a different story.
Have they had that happen with any other player, though, other than him? I mean, has this ever – see, that's what I'm curious about. I mean, I don't think there has been another player that this has happened to, so this is new for the XFL too, I'm sure.
Right. I don't remember in 2023 a player going from a showcase to the combine and then going right to the NFL. Never. I don't remember one that's done it. If anybody remembers that person, please let me know because I don't remember it. He is the first one that I remember to do it.
So, Dad, how would you handle it? Just out of curiosity, if that were to happen, how would you handle that situation?
You mean if the Falcons were to let him go?
Yeah.
If the Falcons let him go before the XFL draft, then he's in the draft pool. But if he's in the draft pool, I say he's in the draft pool. So the each XFL team would still have the rights to draft him for their team if they're willing to take the chance that he may never come to the XFL. He may stay in the NFL for good. But I would think that since he went through the combine, qualified for the draft, that he would hold his right to be in that draft. And if there's a team that wants to claim him, then they would have the rights to him. If nobody drafts him, then I would think at the time he's done with the Falcons, he becomes a free agent just like any other XFL player like Josh Gordon and all those guys that in the 11th hour just started signing with teams willy-nilly.
Or could he go to another team in the NFL too if he were to be picked up by then?
Well, I mean, he could, I guess. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to go to another team.
I feel bad for him because it's kind of like if it doesn't happen at Atlanta, I mean, he could be like all over the board a little bit.
Look, here's what I say. If I'm Lacobe Tucker, right, I would have made it into the contract. I would have talked to the XFL, which I'm sure he did. I'm sure he talked to the XFL and said, hey, guys, I have this opportunity to go to Atlanta. But if I get cut, what does that mean for me? And the XFL is like, look, you can go. You'll be able to enter into the draft, which is more than likely, like Ed said. Because we don't know if any of these players are assigned. The only players that we know are assigned are the ones that XFL released today. Those are the only players that we know that are assigned to the XFL, to XFL teams, which you can go to XFL.com and see all of the players. And I'm sure me and Arlington will talk about it tomorrow on the X Fan Show. If I'm Lacobe, I'm covering all my bases, right? But my main goal is to get to the NFL. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. And then if I get cut by the NFL, I'm like, great, I have my plan. I can go back to the XFL. I can go to the XFL, work on some more things, find out what I need to work on that, and then get myself eligible for the NFL next year. Because what we've seen in spring football and in the NFL, what is the thing they need the most of? Who are the players they need the most of?
O-line.
Like right here with John or what JR says, with the amount of players being signed into the NFL, it seems like the XFL is a superior alt league where more talent wants to go. Just his 2 cents. What do you guys think? I agree with that. I think that the XFL might have the more superior talent, and that's where the players want to go.
So who are these players that are being signed now by the teams without – I mean, are these the players that were at the Combine but didn't make the draft pool for the upcoming draft? So these are like the best of the rest?
Yeah, these are the guys that were in the Combine that they had at Arlington. And these are the guys that probably stood out, so these teams probably picked them up. Now, remind you, well, let's go to this. If Tucker decides he wants to jump from practice squad to practice squad in the NFL, maybe he can get selected in the supplemental draft, perhaps. Very good possibility. He could. He could get picked up in that supplemental draft because they did it January in 2023, so he could do the supplemental draft in 2024 before the season starts and get picked up. Very possibly could. I mean, look, if I'm Lacoby Tucker, in my mind, I'm in the right spot of where I want to be at, right? I'm in the right spot. I showed myself out. Now I got my chance to get to the NFL. I'm going to work my ass off to make it. And if I don't, I know I can go back to the XFL, work on it some more, and get there. So it's the players from the showcases and the combines are the ones that have been signed. I think it's like 20-something players that have been signed to the teams, which was funny. If you noticed on the list, if you go to XFL.com, Seattle Sea Dragons didn't pick anybody up. So what's going on there in Seattle? That gives you something. But remember what I said a couple weeks ago about the XFL and the draft, right? Well, now we're seeing players being assigned to teams already. So what is it to say that this draft is already not done? What's to say the draft's not already done? And they already have their teams made out. And now they're just putting pieces in to fill their players out. The way everything's looking to me, if you do some digging and you do some research, that's how you're going to see it, is that they already know the players they want for their teams. And they already have those players. Go back and do the research, go back and do the studying, and prove me wrong.
Is this how they did the drafts last year, too? Under the table, hush-hush like that?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And that's exactly what Seattle did last year. They claimed players off of private workouts. It's exactly what Seattle did last year. Claimed players off of private workouts. You know what I'm saying? See, like Arlington says, all the teams are not going to make pickups. You're right. They're not. They're not. But we've seen it. I put it. You could go back to all the shows of last year in 2023, and I put it all out for you on how it happened and how it worked. It's all going the same way this year as it did in 2023. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just giving you my speculation. That's all. They already have their teams. They already have their players picked.
So you don't think Seattle's sitting back and waiting, too, just to see who's released and who isn't?
Well, yeah, right here.
Make pickups like that? I mean, that's
just like they did last year.
Doing. Yeah.
With claiming player rights in private workouts. That's exactly what they're doing. It's exactly what they did in 2023. In 2022. Same thing. So you're seeing the same.
But why would an XFL team fill out their roster this early when you're going to have a whole plethora of players that are going to be dropping when the cuts are done and the final roster cuts are done in the NFL? You're going to have players dropping all over the place that are going to be available to teams. If they already had their teams picked out now, then you're kind of handcuffing yourself, aren't you?
All right, Daddy Ed. Do you remember the event that you came to at the Aviator that we and Big Papa G did?
Yes.
Right? What was the number one complaint from – what was one of the biggest – not the schedule. Let's not talk about the schedule because that was the biggest complaint back in the 2023 season, right? What was the second biggest complaint that all the fans had? Who were our players? Who were we drafting? Am I right? Isn't that what you guys were all asking?
Yeah, we didn't really know anything about our teams at that point.
Exactly. See, I'm not saying, Flame Wing Man, I'm not saying that they have them set at the moment. I'm saying they have a majority of their roster set. Because, again, go back in 2023, 2022, leading up to that. You could see it. And what are they doing this year? This is a different type of marketing group they have. So what are they doing? They're giving us little nuggets, little Easter eggs of what they're doing, right?
I know, but
So-
you're not understanding what he's saying. He's saying that we don't know who the players will be, like what players will be cut and available, like my dad was saying. I don't know where you're going with what you're saying.
I get that. But the majority of the players, right there's a list of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Battlehawk players that we know that are on the Battlehawks, right? Now, we know that Akeem Butler, Darius Shepard, Luca, whatever his name is, the linebacker for us, right? All the Battlehawk players that have signed to NFL rosters, right? We know if they get cut, guess where they come back to? They come back to the Battlehawks, right?
Lucas Dennis, I think is who.
Lucas Dennis, right. But they all come back to the Battlehawks, right? Now, we don't know. We won't know that until preseason's over or until December, late when the players are cut, which will be here in 2-3 weeks. Those players, if all those players get cut, they're all coming back to the Battlehawks. You see what I'm saying? So the Battlehawks still have those rights on those players. So really, we're not going to know a full roster until October, November, whenever this draft is. I'm just saying, if you look at the circumstances, 2022 leading up to the 2023 season, they're doing it they're following the same way that they did in the XFL.
And that roster is not even going to be the set roster even then either.
See, again, hold on. I'm not saying my theory's true. Not saying my theory's true. My theory is speculation. That's what you're missing. It's strictly speculation. Like I said, go back and watch shows from last year, and you'll see what I'm talking about leading up to everything. This is the same way. I mean, I don't know 100%, but I'm telling you, I just had it from some very good authorities that everything that I said last year was actually true leading up to the draft. Whether you want to believe me or not, just saying.
We already know you hold the crystal ball. We know.
But we don't know. We don't know a full roster. We won't know a full roster probably till November. So let's just leave it at that. This is all speculation.
There's going to be a giant cut down day when they finally have to get the numbers down to the limit, because until then, they're going to have players coming from everywhere, whether it's previous rights, free agents, drafts, you name it. There's going to be players constantly coming in, and if there's you can't keep everybody, so there's going to have to be one big final cut down day where there's going to be a lot of football players are going to be let go.
Well, I mean, you got to figure the NFL roster expanded to 90 players, correct?
Yes.
Preseason ends in 3 weeks. Preseason starts tomorrow. So in 3 weeks, the preseason's over. All those players, whatever players they don't get cut from 90 down to 53, they're all cut.
But even then,
correct?
That doesn't matter either, because all it takes is one person to be out, and John Alexander, who made the cut in the end too, actually then came back and was playing with them with the Battlehawks. So it's not always set in stone either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not always set in stone. So, like, let's say all of the 48 players from the XFL have signed with the NFL. And let's say all 48 of those players get cut, right, from their NFL teams, and they don't get picked up to a practice squad. Well, now guess what? That means those 48 players go back to their teams. So really, we ain't even going to know a resemblance of what any roster looks like until 3 weeks from now. And then we won't know what a full roster looks like until October, November of when the draft is. But if you keep paying attention online, you'll be able to start seeing it. I mean, you got to remember, CFL is in week 10. Thanks to Reed Johnson, who had just now realized that the CFL is in week 10. They only got a couple more weeks left of their season because of what they're done in October, right? October, November. Mm-hmm. So all those players are going to be done. They can come to the XFL.
Just like Trey Watson did.
I mean, exactly. So you got those players that can come down. So, yeah, we really won't know a full roster until October, November.
So, question 2. So, you know
Mhm.
how St. Louis is getting the arena football team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, even with that now being in the mix too, with those players, not to say this season, but now they're going to have more that XFL then can recruit from them too, right?
All right, so
Or
that's
no?
a good question. So, Daddy Ed, when you were up in Iowa, you probably went to some Iowa Barnstorm games, right?
Yep, I went to the Iowa Barnstormers when Kurt Warner was their quarterback.
Okay. Now, when the Arena Football League was around the first time, those guys actually made a decent chunk of change compared to what they made in the XFL, right?
There was some damn good football players in the Arena League too.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, those guys made comparable salaries to what the XFL players made. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't remember though, but I don't remember the season being so long, but they were saying that the old AFL, their regular season was like 23 weeks. Does that sound right?
Uh-huh.
Holy
So
crap.
now, Amanda, you say that. So, but what if this new version of the AFL goes back to the old model of paying their players decent, where it's compared to what you play in the XFL? Are you gonna go from a league where you're making comparable to what you're making in the XFL, or are you gonna stay in the league you are? I mean, that's another thing you got to worry about. But I don't know what they're paying an arena player this time around.
Yeah, but I firmly believe too that players want to play. They don't want to. I mean, I understand that money is a big part of it, but I don't know about you, but it's like me going to work and just sitting there doing nothing for hours and making
What?
money. I'd be bored out of my misery.
Watching
Like,
somebody else cut your dad's hair.
oh,
Only you want to cut my hair. I know how it is.
oh, somebody cuts my dad's hair, it's gonna be on and popping.
Ooh,
Will not be happy.
ooh, shots fired. No, I mean, look,
Now,
I
Dirty's
mean,
hair,
really,
on the other hand,
I guess the ultimate goal is, if you're a football player, is to make the NFL. I guess.
Well,
Really?
that's still the pinnacle because
Right.
ultimately it's about the money, and the NFL's where the money's at. So that's all their goals, and you can't blame them for that.
No, you can't. I mean, look, you're gonna do.
you
At the
seriously
end of the
think
day,
players would be okay with being in the NFL but just standing on the sidelines doing nothing?
Chase Daniel did it for how many years? He was making $7 million, $8 million, $9 million a year to hold a clipboard. I know you want
Josh
to play.
Rosen.
You can play. You can play all you want in practice. But if somebody said, "Hey, you can be on the scout team and hold a clipboard on Sundays, and we'll pay you $9 million a year," that's not a half bad gig. You don't have to worry about ever getting injured. You walk away from the game someday with your health.
You know, that's funny. Who is the richest backup in?
Has to be Chase Daniel.
All right, there we go.
That guy made a lot of money.
I just Googled it, okay? And it is. Oh, are you ready for this? Now, Queen, are you ready for this?
What?
Repeat your question again. Say your question again.
No, because you're.
No. Say it again. Say it again.
Would you want to stand on the sidelines and not play and make a lot of money?
Over a 13-year career, Chase Daniels has played for 6 teams, only started 5 games, and has made $41 million. 41.
No, some would call that wizard.
Look. Okay, look. AJ came to the XFL because he wanted to play. Look, okay, that's fine. Say what you want.
A good stand-up man wants to play.
Okay, here's the problem. AJ McCarron couldn't be a backup that like Chase Daniels. That's why he left and came to the XFL. Let's keep it real. No team wanted to sign AJ McCarron as a backup. So let's just keep it real on that. And plus, AJ wanted his kids to see him, his sons to see him play football. Let's just keep it there. Hey, listen, I love AJ. AJ was great in Alabama, right?
Do you?
But, listen, there are certain players that are not NFL caliber players. I mean, Daddy Ed, one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. Who is it? In the modern era, who is it?
Matt Leinart.
Did he make it into the NFL?
He did not make it. He didn't squat.
Exactly. Right here, AJ has made a ton of money and made some good investments. So the money really isn't a thing to AJ. Exactly. And it doesn't help that his wife, Kathleen Webb, was a supermodel and made a shit ton of money too.
Another real estate agent.
That is true. Another great college quarterback, Ryan Leaf, bust in the NFL.
Well, who was the big dude that went to the Raiders? I can't think of his name right now.
Jamarcus Russell. Played for LSU. The dude was a beast.
The guy could throw the ball like 200 yards.
Couldn't hit the side of a barn from 2 yards away. He was that bad. Jamarcus Russell was that bad.
That's what you said about my quarterback the other day, too.
Oh, Kirk Cousins is the most overrated quarterback in the game today. Anyways.
Not according to Patrick Mahomes, it is not.
No, Patrick Mahomes.
And where was the Aaron idiot Rodgers at? Oh, he ranked way worse than Kirk Cousins, last I checked. Sir.
Ryan Leaf was just lazy. Jamarcus Russell was addicted to the lean. You are absolutely right. Okay, here, another one. Great college quarterback. Won 2 national championships. Was a bust in the NFL. Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel. All great college quarterbacks, but bust in the leagues. I mean, not everybody is not a quarterback or a backup quarterback. I mean, if they were good enough.
Didn't they say that about Kurt Warner when he first started too?
No, Kurt Warner just didn't have the chances.
Or Purdy, they were talking about him too. Same with him. And look at how far he got the team. I want to hear
But Brock Purdy got drafted and made his team through this preseason. So that's a difference. He made it. But I'm telling you this, just like Daddy Ed said, I'll go stand on the sideline for 13 fucking years over 6 teams and make $41 million to stand there like this, holding the clipboard. Oh, wait. Oh, guy got hurt. Please get up. Please get up. Oh, yes, he's up. Oh, I'm getting to collect my paycheck today.
And then every time he did start a game, he played so bad
that
they had to come up with plan B for the next week.
Yes, exactly.
But then the next year, another team would sign him for $7-8 million the next year too.
Right, like Matt Castle. Tom Brady goes down in 2007. Matt Castle comes in, has a great year, gets the Patriots to the playoffs, then goes and signs the contract. Then what happened to that? He sucked.
Now after that, Stephon Diggs, prime example, was great. Did you hear the man's name near as much until he had the miracle catch? No, you didn't. Now he's like bee's knees.
Hold on. If you're a real football fan, you knew exactly who Stephon Diggs was.
Excuse me?
Exactly.
Oh, trust me, I know exactly who Stephon Diggs.
You just said nobody knew.
I danced outside in the snow several times.
His brother just signed a nice little deal too.
We're muting her on that one. Nobody knew who Stephon Diggs was. What is wrong with her?
Stephon Diggs' brother signed a nice little contract too here a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
Listen, people knew who Stephon Diggs was. They didn't know who he was as much until that miracle catch. Let me tell you, my dad, needs to be. I don't know what I don't. Him, but once that happened, Dad, I remember calling you. What did you say to me when I called you when that happened? You were like blown away before the game, and we played against.
Well, hey, make sure, this is Battlehawk Live, and we are in overtime. So make sure you come out to our fan appreciation with the X-Fan Legion, all of that, Battlehawk Live, Autism Speaks. The music will be done by Big Papa G, September 9th from 6 to 10 at Wild Sun Brewing Company. We will have, X-Fan Legion will be there, B-Hawk Live. We have some people coming in from some other cities. Hey, St. Louis fans, the visiting fans are outnumbering you guys. That's all I'm saying. Just a little bit. They're outnumbering you guys. This is in your home state, and the visiting fans are outnumbering you guys. I have the list.
You have the Brahma Mamas, like some of the Brahma babes coming.
Yes, we have
Bring
Trey
all
Watson
that.
coming. Tickets are only $10. You get the commemorative cup. You get the free beer, and you will get to try. We will be unveiling our limited edition beer can, B-Hawk Live beer can, American Blonde Ale, the X-Fan Legion edition. Scan that QR code right up there in the top. That will get you to the Eventbrite and all of that stuff. Please come out September 9th. We're raising money for Autism Speaks. And it's been I know. I'm just using that as the example. I know. But he sucked anywhere he went after that, Matt Castle did. That's all I'm saying. Daddy, do we got anything else to say?
I think it's a wrap.
I think so
I'm wearing
too.
my Wild Sun jacket, Dad. Did you see?
I see that.
Mm-hmm.
That emblem's not popping real good though, but
I know. Hyena, do we have anything else to say? Do you have anything else to say?
There you go. There you go.
Huh?
No, other than this is the Amanda Show, and we are wrapping this up for the night. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you go and get your tickets on Eventbrite.
Oops, she's gone. I don't know what happened. The Oscars are playing her out, Daddy Ed. Finish it, Amanda. Come on. Hurry up.
Go
You
to
got
your
30
team
seconds.
on Eventbrite. You guys will not want to miss out on this. And honestly, it's for a really good cause. As y'all know, my son has autism. So I'd really appreciate if you guys could all come and support him too. Other than that, this Hyena's out. Check me and Daddy Ed tomorrow on the Fang Gang Show. 4 o'clock, 4:30. You'll see you.
Merch coming soon. Daddy Ed, merch coming soon. Merch coming soon.
Merch is coming soon.
That's right. We're gone. We'll see you guys. Check out Daddy Ed and Amanda on the Fang Gang Show. 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock on the West Coast, 5 o'clock on the East Coast, and that's what is that? 3 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll see you guys next week.